7th of April is usually a day we commemorate World Health Day. This year's theme, Together for Health, Stand with Science, reminds us that building a healthier world is a shared responsibility. So to mark this day, I had the privilege to visiting the General Hospital in my community. Here I spent time with one of the voices on the front line, the resident medical officer, Dr. Ugochukwu. So we shared some time together and it was interesting. Here is what he had to say.
So firstly, I want to know your name and your role in this hospital, sir.
All right. Thank you for having me. I'm Dr. Ugochukwu. I'm the resident medical officer in General Hospital Umokande. So yeah, that is my role in the hospital. I see patients on a daily basis, both outpatient cases and inpatient cases.
Okay. Oh, that's really wonderful. I so much appreciate your sacrifice and your service. Yeah, as a healthcare worker, what does standing with science mean to you?
Okay. As a medical doctor in this part of the world, you will notice that one of the challenges we face are patients being I use the word deluded when it comes to knowledge and health information.
Okay.
There are a lot of superstitious beliefs that patients share, and that most times affects them when it comes to them getting adequate medical care. We've seen, or I've seen, a lot of cases where patients present late to the hospital for otherwise avoidable cases, and that is because they believe that it was something relating to spirituality. And then forgetting that every medical condition has a scientific bearing and as well as a scientific explanation. Only, will I say, most, 99% have medical or scientific explanation. So, but what we see, because of patients not knowing this, especially like I said, in this part of the world, it affects medical care. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, I really got a lot of information from this. You know, we are kind of, just like you said, we are kind of deluded here, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. So, but I want to ask, as a resident doctor in General Hospital Mokani, what is one biggest medical challenge that people in this community usually face?
Okay, I think one of the, in respect to the theme, just back to what I said, this is a rural community, or is a rural place. So one of the challenges we face is late presentation. For health care. Now we see situations whereby a patient, for example, having diabetic foot ulcer, which is a complication of diabetes. Who believe that it's otherwise something spiritual. So you see them presenting late most times when the leg is severely damaged. And which at that point it now gets to the point that the limb can no longer be useful anymore. So these are cases, and we see a lot of those cases here where people believe that whatever problem that they're having has spiritual connotation. I will not say it's delusion. I would kind of say it's misinformation or ignorance. So because of that, they get caught up in all that, and it's most of the time take very dangerous tolls on their health. So that's one of the challenges we face here. And of course, given that their presentation is most times when there are complications involved, you can hardly do much. So that is one thing I would say is a challenge that I have here as a doctor when it comes to the community.
I see. I really appreciate your sacrifice, especially in environments of this setting. I usually call healthcare workers heroes of our generation because they see to our today and our future. So this year's theme says, Together for Health, Stand with Science. I really appreciate that a lot, and I really appreciate your time and efforts to grant a time with me. Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
God bless you, sir.